What's going on, y'all? So we back again for another episode review of Married to Medicine season 9, episode 17, the reunion, part dos. That's how you say it, right? Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. Anyway, I'm a little bilingual. Anyway, so we get up into the episode and it literally picks up where it left off last week with this Anila and Toya situation. Do you feel like Toya either, I don't know if the question was, did she have knowledge of the break-in? Did she have anything to do with the break-in? I don't know what was with the long pause for Anila to just say no, but she said no. Okay, let's just put that to the end. Okay, I want to get through with that. I'm tired of talking about this break-in shit because at the end of the day, I feel like nobody had anything to do with that break-in that is sitting there uh on that panel, on that stage. Okay, moving on from that, they get into the whole situation of being black doctors. We get to see the doctors in their own element, and that is part of the reason why I do like looking at Married to Medicine, because yeah, they give us a little bit of mess or whatever, but I love the scenes more when I actually see the doctors. And some of y'all may like the drama more, but I love the scenes more when I see the doctors actually in their elements, because sometimes for me, I know it's like, oh, I didn't know that. I learned something sometimes, okay? Um, and so you got that going on, and Andy asks, what is it, you know, uh, uh, important about being a black doctor now, or having a black doctor, and where did that resurgence come from? And Simone had answered the question about it and said, during the whole situation with George Floyd, and seeing his unfortunate death happen, and all of the uprising and things, it just shone a light on to a lot of the injustices that was going on within the black community, including medical. You need to have a black doctor. She said it's a lot more, infant, excuse me, mortalities and stuff like that that happens when there is not a black doctor around. And that is mainly because, and the fact that Andy, we've been putting this out on social media. We've been putting this out to the world, especially when all of this stuff really started upticking, and you mean to tell me you didn't see not one article or not one tweet or whatever for you to ask the question, really, why is that? And I said, maybe he hasn't, because, it doesn't affect him. But yeah, black people, especially black women, we do not get the same medical care. We do not get the same maternity care that, our white counterparts or anybody else would. Okay? We're most likely to have issues going on, or to die from something, or something happened to the fetus, something happened to the embryo, something happened to the baby, because of the negligence of the hospital, the negligence of the doctors, the negligence of the doctors not wanting to listen to, what the mother is saying and what this woman is saying about how she feels. And of course, we used the, situation that happened with Serena Williams and her possibly, and that issue has always, that particular case that they brought up with Serena Williams, about how, she was telling the doctor after she had her baby that something was wrong, and she felt like she was about to have a pulmonary embolism, because she knows how it feels, because she had one before. And the fact that they were ignoring her, and it goes to show that it doesn't matter if you are one of the greatest freaking entertainers out here, the greatest athlete out here. Don't matter, bitch, if you got the money or whatever. These doctors, especially if they are not black, they are not gonna listen to you. And that made me so mad. This lady who has just told you, and if you see it in her chart, and she put it out there in the public to make it known that, yeah, I've had a pulmonary embolism. And we remember when that is literally written down. Like, you can literally Google that and see all the times that Serena Williams has had that. She's put it out there in articles. She said that on her documentary, all of that. And these people still basically was shutting her down, like, nah, girl, that ain't it. And come to find out, she was having one, And that death, if something would have happened to her, that would have been on their hands and their conscience. And they probably still wouldn't care. Okay, they probably still wouldn't care because she is a black woman, and it's unfortunate that, women have to go through that. Um, you know, Black women have to go through what they have to go through. That's just, I always gotta want to have a black doctor. I got my first black doctor like last year. Black woman doctor at that. And it was the first time in a long time that I actually felt really, really comfortable, like I was with a homegirl that was actually listening. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Moving on from that, they get to the whole bedside manners, and it was like, don't you see your husbands? Don't that make y'all want to be a little bit more brush up on your bedside manners and stuff like that? Girl, they was talking to goddamn Heavenly. Heavenly was like, girl, yeah, I mean, he real good with his patients. He's real calm. Dr. Damon, he just has an all over calm demeanor. Like, I just cannot see him being pissed. And when he's pissed, I just cannot see him raising his voice. I told y'all that, and she was like, I guess opposites attract. And it's sexy looking at him doing it. I said, I guess if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Pump your man up. How do they feel, Anila, about, Karen saying that you a pincushion? She was like, girl, I don't care. Listen, whatever he want to try on me, stick me up if that's what you need to do. And no, he has never made a mistake and nothing bad has ever happened. So, hey, do what you got to do. Meanwhile, they asked the whole, about the, what is the situation? The, Audra, she's having a healthy pregnancy. She didn't come because she was in the last weeks of her pregnancy or the last days of her pregnancy. And, she's literally about to give birth. So there's that. And, okay. There's that. So, that's because somebody else had asked that up in the comments. Why wasn't she there? Because she literally couldn't fly. I think they're out there in New York or wherever they're at. She can't fly to it. And she was about to give birth at any minute. Also, they start talking about the politics of it, laws getting overturned for women. And, Dr. Heavenly was saying they was bringing up her YouTube and what she said on social media about, she don't know what she would do if she would have a child that she didn't want, an unwanted pregnancy, but it shouldn't be to somebody else's decision. And that's what mostly everybody is coming with. You can be pro-life, you can be pro-choice, but at the end of the day, we all should agree that it shouldn't be anybody else's decision but that person's decision, that woman's decision, whether or not she wants to keep the baby or not. It shouldn't be our or the law or this or that. It should not. You can still be like, well, I'm not for abortion. Like, I personally wouldn't do that, but I'm not going to judge somebody else who would. That's the stance that a pro-life person could take. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to judge because, there are so many other factors that goes into it. Just like they was pointing out how some babies that even if they get born to terms, they're not going to survive on the outside. You know what I'm saying? And I feel for these women because it's not always... I feel like when people talk about abortions, mainly what they're thinking about is unwanted pregnancies or, you done fucked up and so you trying to get rid of it because you don't want to have kids right now or whatever. This wasn't in the plan. You didn't use protection. No, it's not always about that. People forget about the medical aspects of it, or people that actually want to have kids. And then something goes medically wrong in the development of that child that could either cost the fetus life or, the mother's life. You know what I'm saying? Having what is it called? When it be growing in fallopian tube and shit like that, that can be dangerous. What the fuck is that called? My cousin had that and she had to get surgery for that shit. Oh my God, I forget what it's called. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all put it down in the comments and it'll come to me right when I start editing. But, or other things where it's a stillborn, you know what I'm saying? Or some other shit happens and you still making a woman carry the baby to term. It's just ridiculous. And I'm glad that they said, I think it was Heaven that was like, no man, no white man or whoever should be telling no woman. I said, thank you for saying that. Because that's all that we saying. And then it kills me with the women. the women who believe in this shit. So all of you ones that feel like, you know, none of these things, don't get pregnant and then don't have nothing medically happen to you where, you know, you need to get that baby out of you unless it's gonna cost you your life and you're about to lose your life for something that ain't even here. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. That's none of my business. So then we get into the Toya of it all, okay? Listen, girl. Baby, I feel like some of the people didn't hear me say when it came to the Quiet situation about them questioning how she got her money, how she got her house, that it's none of their business. And I feel like that some people didn't hear me say the same was with Toya, because at this point, it's getting old. It's getting very, very old at this point to keep questioning this lady about the finances that is going on with her. And, you know, people just need to mind their business. Granted, we get it that it's out there in public or whatever, but at this point in time, we understand and we see and we know that they have financial issues. And somebody was trying to say they don't have financial issue, they just be mismanaging their money or whatever. Baby, that's financial issues. No matter how you try to slice it or whatever, they have some form. There are many forms of financial issues. It's not always saying that you're broke, okay? So, you know, I went to business school, so I know this stuff, you know? And it's clear that something is going on, whether it's mismanagement of money, whether it is, you know, they just trying to keep up with the Joneses or whatever, whether it's, what's his name, Eugene's fault, or if it's, you know, Toya's fault because of whatever reason. But it's clearly something wrong. And instead of just, I get us as the public talking shit about it because we don't know these ladies. We like, girl, why you keep on going through this same shit each and every year? And the most shady part about this little segment was when they asked that question, they read that comment from a viewer who said, bitch, you've been moving house to house to house ever since you got on this damn show. And so is this going to be the one that's going to stick? You know, I was just like, it's true. We say shit about it, but as a friend, a person that's on the show, and you supposed to be that girl's friend, you know, why would you partake into the mess instead of just trying to understand what's going on? You know, that's where I'm coming from with it. Because, people gonna talk they mess because we on the outside trying to understand, like, bitch, what the hell is happening that y'all keep moving house to house to house to house? And you talking about some, you know, what happened with the dream house is the neighborhood was up and coming and, you know, it was making a lot of money. People was already selling their stuff to make money and all this shit or whatever. And they made almost $100 million and woo, 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 woo. And I got the papers and all this shit. And I'm just sitting here like, Toya, you know, because Heavenly was like, they asked Heavenly a question about something and she said no, but you know, she did see the papers or whatever from Audra. Audra said no. They was like, do you see if it's anything wrong with them selling their house? She was like, if you got debt and you need to you know, pay that debt off or whatever, that's fine. Do what you got to do. And Toya was like, who said I had debt? It was like, well, we seen the papers from Audra. Audra ain't show you shit. Audra ain't had nothing. Audra this. And, you know, Toya, you getting real defensive. And when a person get real defensive sometimes in certain situations, to me, that makes it seem like, you know, you're literally trying to come up with something and you're lying because somebody is just spilling your secret, spilling your tea right then and there. And, you know, like Heavenly said, and like we already know, Audra is a real estate attorney, so she can get her hand on all of this stuff if she really wanted to. But most of the shit that she put out there, that she put out there at Quiet's little party or whatever, is public knowledge. You know, you can look it up. Anybody from the public can look it up. So we ain't gotta go through no get this paperwork or whatever to get this permission to go through this agency. No, you can just Google that shit, look it up. You know what I'm saying? And so, given that she's a real estate attorney, she could probably find even more and get the real tea. You know what I'm saying? That's why partly I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I thought about it and it just came in my mind. Maybe that's part of the reason why Toya made up with Audra, because Audra could have been a threat to her, a real fucking threat, if they came back next season. I don't know if she's coming back next season or not, but if she comes back next season and if they was to still be beefing, bitch, Audra can really go through all her shit and put her shit out there for real, for real. The financials and all that stuff when it comes to this home and shit, because like she said, she's a real estate attorney. She got access, okay? I don't know how ethical that'd be, but, you know, hey, you just never know. People don't believe in ethics on a lot of these shows. And they get into the whole situation about her and Eugene. And, you know, basically, it felt like this season, as usual, Toya is going into the same pattern of, you know, feeling or saying negative things about her husband. That's why a lot of people don't really respect her or don't rock with her as much, because, you know, she says she embarrasses Dr. Eugene. She makes him look smaller than what he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of just telling him, you telling everybody else, and, you know, you're acting out about this or whatever, you're talking about your man's penis and all this stuff. That's embarrassing, bitch. That is embarrassing. You don't want him to get on here and say that your pussy dry. Like, come on. Stop. Sometimes the shit just comes to me and I don't think about it before I say it, and before I say it, after I said it, it's just fucked up a little bit. But I'm just saying, like, you know, and she was just saying how, you know, she was just feeling alone and all that stuff. They was going through their problems because he was working a lot, and on that part, I did feel for her. I felt for her because regardless of the situation, you want your marriage to work, especially if you love. I do believe she loves Eugene. I really do. And I do believe that she do want her marriage to work. I do believe that she don't want that man to leave her and she don't want to leave him. I can be naive, I can be crazy or whatever, regardless of the stuff that she's talking. I do feel like she don't want him to go and she don't want to lose him for whatever reason, whether it's love or for whatever. She don't want him to go, okay? And those, you know, like he said, watching her cry is some people that can easily cry, and Toya is not one of those. So watching her cry, because he was listening to all the things that she was saying, it really hurts him. It bothers him, you know. And she was just saying how she was lonely, and it was like, do you still feel that way? Simone, here comes Simone. She feel less lonely. I said, God damn, can we talk to Toya? And let's be clear, Simone is just there to be there at this point, because Simone had no fucking storyline. Bitch, don't nobody care about your book. Nobody care about that goddamn relationship book, okay? That was a fake ass storyline if you ask me. That was probably the fakest storyline if you ask me. And even if that book does come out, it was a fake ass storyline, okay? Meanwhile, you know, she was like, I told him he knows some things, so he's being, you know, more trying to make things work or whatever. And it was like, do you hear it in her voice or whatever, how she feels? And then it got to, you know, she was like, she felt lonely, especially back then, because, you know, her friends wasn't there for her the way that she expected them to be there for her. And I need people to understand that, especially on this show, the women outside of Quad and Toya live strenuous lives being in the medical field, whether it's dental, whether it's paternity, maternity, OBGYN, regular surgery, ER, all that shit. They live as strenuous lives, and they will make time for people who they genuinely care about. And at the point, I do not feel that Toya has made an impression that she is friends with all of these people on this stage. Contessa just became your friend. Simone been up your ass for a minute. So, of course, Quad is not your good girlfriend at all. Y'all just don't like each other. Jackie, older than you. I was about to say old as hell. Because she look good. Actually, I did not know Jackie was the age that she is. I said, bitch, well, I really thought Jackie was still up in her 50s. I did. Bitch, I did. Okay? No, she not. I said, wow, she look good. And then when they showed that flashback, I said, she look better now than she did then. And she wasn't bad looking then. I said, you know, when you get a little bit more in the cameras and shit, you start to zhuzh yourself up a little bit more. But Toya and Jackie ain't never been close like that. Toya, when we go back to season 1, Jackie never really saw it for Toya. She's just been cordial this whole time. Okay, she's tolerated her. She probably got a liking to her now, but baby, back in the day, especially when Toya was really going through some shit, they wasn't cool like that. So for her to feel like everybody should just be checking in on her, baby, these people work. These people care about the people that they care about. And I'm not going to be upset that people don't check in, especially if I don't put out there that I'm hurting. And I was on Jackie's side in a sense where she said, I don't ask people about their marriages or whatever. But Toya said you could at least text a call or whatever and said, how you doing? And I said, yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But I'm not going to hold it against a bitch that don't really do that to me anyway, because I know that we not cool like that, or we're okay, but we're not on that level. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Jackie made a point, and I feel like Toya made a point in that whole situation as well. And then, you know, she was like, you don't let nobody be there for you. So you say that you want people there for you, but you don't let people be there for you. We try to help you with stuff, but you don't take it. And she was like, I was there for you when you was going through your situation with Curtis. She said, yeah, you was telling me that it was my fault that he was doing stuff. And she literally was. So, you know, what goes around comes around, I guess. Meanwhile, we get into this whole situation about the rumor coming up about Toya cheating on Eugene with somebody in the neighborhood. Oh, there we go. Somebody in the neighborhood and all that stuff. And, you know, they was like, quiet, so what you know about it? She said, listen, first of all, I did not start the rumor. I don't have a polygraph out here or whatever. But the rumor did not come from me. The actual rumor, you know, well, from what I heard, because, you know, I was talking to Heavenly. I heard Heavenly name mentioned, but the bulk of it was, they said Simone is the one that said that Toya was out here cheating and we just got the wrong guy. I said, bitch, okay. Sneaky. Your good girlfriend, huh? Baby, they got onto that rumor and Simone said, no, girl, I didn't say the shit, okay? So don't put that on me or whatever. Why would I say some stuff? I said, okay, Simone, whatever. We gonna move past that one. But we get into, you know, people saying that the rumor was, you know, Toya was cheating and all that stuff. And it was like Quad and Anila, like, of course, Quad, I understand that y'all don't get along or whatever, but why wouldn't you say something? Why would you continue with or whatever? And Quad said, I'll admit it. Bitch, after all the times that people been saying stuff about me sleeping with married men and all this stuff or whatever, when I heard about this rumor that was told to me, I said what I said so that I can hurt Toya. I did the shit on purpose. And I said, well, you know what, Quad? I will give you that, okay? Because at least you put the truth out there. You've been trying to hurt this girl on purpose or whatever. You know, and it's just a tit for tat type of situation. I feel it's childish as fuck on everybody's side, you know, and what really bothered me, you know, Jackie, they was like, not, this ain't the part that bothered me, but he did ask, you know, Jackie, when you was going through your thing, how would you feel if your friends was talking behind your back? She said, when they were, because they were, you know. And she said, you know what, she the type of person that it's not gonna get to her. She not gonna let it get to her, because it's to be expected at this point for the friends or whatever to gossip behind your back, especially when you're going through some shit. That's unfortunate, but hey, it happens. It happens in a lot of our situations. As much as we want to try not to, you know, shit just happens, you know. So there's that. But it got to the part, and I probably skipped some stuff or whatever. You know, Anila was trying to act like she had absolutely nothing to do with this whole situation besides just saying that it was a rumor that was told to her by this person or that person. And, you know, it was like, Quad, do you feel like Quad set you up? Because Anila was saying she didn't know nothing about Zaina or whatever, because they tried to make it seem as if this was something that, you know, Anila knew what was going on and she was trying to use against her or whatever in some type of way. And Anila was trying to say, no, bitch, that's not what it is, okay? And I was sitting here, but if you knew this rumor and you claimed that this wasn't something that you was trying to use against Toya or throw at Toya or whatever, and you didn't have no parts in it, when they showed you at the party, when it came out to Toya, you literally sat there and said to Zaina, you know, you need to bring up the whole affair situation. You knew what you was doing, Anila. You're not as innocent as you try to portray yourself. You are a bad actress. I'm just going to put that out there. You are a bad actress. So this trying to portray yourself as innocent or less accountable for a lot of other things that's going on in this situation, you're not. You're just as equally guilty in every way as everybody else in it. Because, you know, you act like you didn't know what was going on, and you didn't know Zaina was coming to the party. Contessa said, but she drove in the car with you. Now pause. Can we maybe they'll tell us in the episode, because I'm almost to the end of this episode or whatever, or am I halfway through? Girl, I don't know. Probably halfway through. But what is it between Contessa and Anila? They never really got along, or I just never knew that they had any issues, because Contessa was being real nasty about the break-in on the first episode. And, you know, it's just like the vibe or whatever. I don't get it. What happened? But anyway, you know, Quiet was even calling Anila out on her shit. And Toya was just like, you know, they was like, do you feel like Quiet set you up? She was like, no, I feel like, you know, she just told me to come, you know, and it's Anila that's acting like she had no knowledge, no whatever. And Toya, they was like, where are y'all at these days? And she was like, well, at this point in time, you know, I don't know where I'm at with Anila, because every time I say I'm sorry and we make up, it's always something else. And I find out that she was a part of the thing with Eugene and all this shit that you were saying or whatever. And she was like, I mean, but people gossip. That's what we do on this show. We gossip. And Toy was like, it's not the same thing. And what made me mad about this is because I finally see Toya for who she really is. But at the same time, you know, and that ain't a negative. That's not a negative. Toya is hurt. Okay, Toya is hurt, and it feels almost as if she never really had anybody on her side growing up, because she's always talking about how she wished she had her friends to had her back, or, you know, these people wasn't there for me, and it's like she has abandonment issues or something like that, you know. But at the same time, I was on her side because Anila kept on saying, well, I didn't say this, I didn't say that, or whatever, you know, I didn't believe the rumor. You didn't believe the rumor, but like Toya said, that makes it worse because you used that as ammunition against her. You really did. No matter which ways you tried to slice it, when you was at that party and you told Zaina to bring that shit up, you knew what you was doing. And then it's the, well, we wasn't good. Okay, y'all wasn't good when you did that joke situation. And you want to be okay with that? No. So just like you don't know, you're doing too fucking much at this point. And like Quiet was trying to tell a bitch in the trailer that they had why they had trailers? Everybody else had hotel rooms and shit. Why they had trailers? And I'm talking about the cast of Marriage Medicine. I'm sitting here like, Anila, just own your shit. That's all Quiet was saying. I already said the reason why I said what I said. Okay? I was trying to hurt the bitch. Now you just own your shit and take accountability for what you did and just stop making excuses for it. And that's all. That's all people was asking, Anila. Girl, you're not innocent. We know you had something to do. Baby, they didn't get into the Contessa and Heavenly of it all, okay? I'm just gonna say this. You know, it was cute asking Heavenly, or asking the group the little poll questions about, you know, who here has been talked about by Heavenly, who here has you know, Heavenly done did this too, Heavenly did that too. I can't remember the other two, but yeah, everybody who finances she done talked about, you know. So yeah. Meanwhile, they asked, did anybody think that Heavenly and Dr. Damon have as much sex every day as they say, or as Heavenly say? And she raised her hand and saying no, you know what I'm saying? She put both her hands up because we all knew that shit was a lie. And she said that before that, you know, she be lying or whatever. But when it get into this whole situation with Heavenly and Contessa, regardless of the fact that, you know, Heavenly shouldn't have been talking about it on her YouTube channel, we can put that to the side for a second. A lot of the shit, and I'm looking at Contessa's, body language. I'm looking at how extra defensive she's getting. And yeah, you can get defensive when you feel like somebody is lying on you, but you also can get defensive when you are lying yourself. And that's what it was coming off to me. The whole way that she was acting, because Heavenly was calm for the most part. It wasn't until, she started talking about Dr. Damon or whatever, and her talking about Dr. Damon, that Heavenly started saying, shut the fuck up, bitch, okay? Because what you're not going to do is talk about mine. And I want Contessa to fucking stop. Now, sometimes people use the reunion to clear up rumors, to clear up things, to, to be like, well, this happened, and then it changes our opinion and we see where they were coming from. But in this one particular segment before they went to commercial break, no, Contessa. Was Heavenly wrong for like, and it really wasn't much. And I swear to God, if y'all go back and y'all look, it was not like she was dogging this girl out. It was not like she was dogging the marriage out like that. But given that you are friends, you probably do expect your friend not to talk about your situation on social media, because that's your friend, and just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you're trying to say that you was never friends with Heavenly. You never told Heavenly your business or whatever, because you knew that, that's like telling a parrot. And I understand that. I do feel like she's lying. She did tell her some stuff, because Heavenly, the same thing that Heavenly repeated on that stage is the same thing Heavenly been saying in her reviews, especially at the very beginning, that, they have not spoken about this situation, because Andy said, why didn't you just go ahead and tell her right then and there? And she was like, I did. Heavenly said she didn't. And was like, the last time they had a conversation was when Jackie was on the phone with them, trying to fix things, trying to help things out, because, Contessa was up there dogging Scott out. And of course, Contessa wanted to say that she didn't. And I'm pretty sure she did. Okay. And excuse me, you want to know why? Because like Heavenly said, all this shit that you was saying, it was brought up on TV. Because she was like, it was stuff that I was saying to my girlfriends. And like Heavenly said, on national TV, you were talking about your husband. We didn't get off of the cameras, off of Heavenly's, because everybody is not subscribed to Heavenly stuff, and her clips don't go viral like that. You know what I'm saying? It does sometimes, but not necessarily like that, to the point where we're all using it as evidence or whatever, and everybody will be in the know. It's all on the blogs and stuff. No, girl. You literally sat here on last season and the season before that towards the end, basically talking about the issues, because this is season 7, season 5 towards the end. It was like, building up to what was happening on season 6. Okay, wait a minute. What season is this? Season 7 towards the end, it was building up to what happened on season 8. Okay, that's what it is. You talked about this shit. You put out there that you couldn't trust that man. You put out there that, he had a so-called life coach that he said was a man at one point, but then come to find out it's supposed to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know whether or not he was cheating. You couldn't necessarily answer that, because you said you don't know what people are doing. You are implying a lot of stuff. You are saying stuff. They showed the part where y'all got into the fucking fight at the hotel room or whatever, and Carrie was like, I hit him going back and forth, and you was up there so pissed off and everything, and you didn't even sleep in a room with him. Okay, we saw how Scott looked. We saw how y'all were at the fucking reunion. Do you not remember all of this stuff? We got all of that from you, bitch, not from Heavenly shit. Okay, now I understand that you're going through shit and you want to have somebody to blame instead of yourself, but you have to take some accountability. Heavenly needs to take some accountability, bitch. You need to take some accountability too for what you allowed and gave the cameras to fucking film. Okay, and then you're trying to come, I never ask you for advice. I never do this or whatever. That was your friend at the time, regardless, and you probably did. You probably did. We know Heavenly can be full of shit, but at this point in time, that story has never fucking changed. Okay, that has never fucking changed, and I would tend to believe her more than I believe you, because your character has totally fucking changed since last season to now. You want to be victim so bad. You want to be, and I'm talking about victim about, somebody coming after me and making me look bad, trying to mess up my family. No, you got some parts in there, baby. Okay, and I need you to take accountability for that shit. You really do. So they continue on, and At the end of the day, they did try to ask Dr. Jackie how she feel about Heavenly or whatever. And then, of course, the other girls on the other side, Toya, now, you know, like, she gonna just take up for her, whatever. Something, no, Contessa said that. And then Jackie had to shut Contessa up and said, don't do that, girl. Don't do that, because what I'm about to do and what I have been doing is the same thing that y'all been doing. You know, taking up for your friend or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and telling them what they need to be told. I said, get their asses or get her ass. Contessa, I used to really like Contessa. Contessa, I just don't know. I just don't know. Yes, yes. Heavenly said some shit, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't even that deep of the shit. Like, you know, baby, you kind of ruined your husband's reputation more than Heavenly had. To be quite honest and be quite frank, because I heard more from you than I heard from her about your shit. Okay? And just because, you know, you was asking if he is abusive, no, she didn't say he was. He said emotionally could be, but we all saw that, and people were already saying that last season because of the way that he was coming for your ass. It almost felt like he was fucking controlling your ass. Like you was fucking scared to fucking leave, girl. Okay? And I'm just sitting here like, you know, and then Quiet tried to get up in Heavenly ass about the things that she posts and how it can affect the people around her. You can't keep doing that. And at this point in time, trying to fucking get Heavenly to understand what people are trying to say in that aspect of it all, it was just a waste of fucking breath. Because has she stopped? No. We still look at, or at least I've been looking at the reviews and all the stuff that she has been doing. And she still talks about Toya. She's still talking about contesting this whole situation. She still talking about everybody. To be quite frank, not necessarily Jackie, but she talks about everybody. And then, like they said, everybody has said some things about everybody on this show, been on social media. Y'all have dragged each other on Twitter. You have dragged the husbands on Twitter. You have been on Heavenly's show. Quiet, you were recently on Heavenly's fucking show. Okay? So, like, all of them at one point in time has been on that goddamn YouTube channel and been dogging shit and saying shit about the other members that wasn't there. And now all of a sudden it is a big issue because it's Contessa and her marriage and the stuff that she done already put out there. Be fucking for real. And if we're going to be consistent all the way around the fucking board, bitch. Okay? Contessa, that attitude is just fucking gross. It's just fucking gross. And I never thought that I would say that shit about Contessa because I actually liked her. But now she just, and then going to say something, she better be glad there's security here. What you going to do? You up there trying to call my husband an abusive doctor. You going to say that to him when he come out here to his face? You going to say that to him? I said, girl, shut the fuck up. You done already said it to us on TV. Like, girl, stop. Stop. So we get into, you know, the women are getting off the stage. The men are coming in. Quad and Anila make up for the shit that happened in the trailer. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, so when the men come on there, they do the little package. And then they start talking about Eugene. Okay? And Kieran's situation. They were saying how, you know, with the Halloween prank or whatever, when they pulled up in the freaking car, at the end of the day, I stick by what I said. I know some of y'all thought the shit was funny, and even if they weren't on good terms or whatever, I didn't find the ha 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 in the joke, okay? Like, it just wasn't funny to me. Like, I wasn't over here like, oh shit, that's not funny, but I was just sitting here waiting to laugh. I get it, but I wasn't moved by it. Like, y'all could have had a better joke, you know what I'm saying? That was actually butt-gusting goddamn funny, but it wasn't to me. And I will stand by what I said when I said that it wasn't funny for the simple fact that you guys, or at least Anila at the time, was not cool with Toya. So y'all are in a fucked up place. And so for you to be joking about my situation, regardless of what everybody else has said, it comes off as like him saying it's a mockery because they were not in a good space. That's where I was coming from. That's where I would stand at, you know. But so I was not mad at Eugene, you know, getting upset. And like he said, Kieran, we found out he was the one that elevated it by saying, let's get the U-Haul truck. And Kieran just can't read the goddamn room. Read the room, bruh. At the end of the day, if your friend, and if you really considered Eugene a goddamn friend, regardless of how you feel or think that this joke was so funny and he should have just took it in stride or whatever, if that is your friend, what Eugene said about, it's not the fact that you said the joke, it's the fact that once you heard and saw how uncomfortable I was, or that I wasn't here for it, you did not dial it back. You did not say, my bad, bruh. You didn't do none of that shit. You kept it going. And that's the issue that I have. Yeah, you could think something is funny, but if somebody say, no, bruh, that's not funny, I don't, it's kind of hurtful, because that's what Eugene wanted to say. He wanted to say that it was hurtful, but he did it. His body language and his actions showed that he was hurt by the joke. Call it sensitive or whatever. I don't. It's facts. It is what it is. You can't tell somebody how to fucking react to something when they're going through something currently, and it's a running joke about them, and people using it against them that they moving all the time or whatever the fuck. I didn't even say some shit. So I understand it. So hell, he has every right to feel the way that he feels. And Kieran, as his friends, you need to pick up on that and just be like, okay, my bad, bro. But no, he kept going. He kept going. He kept going. Even on the fucking stage, he's smiling and laughing about it. Anila trying to take up for him in the back. And it's like, girl, shut the fuck up. I was with Toy when she said, shut the fuck up. And given that we've seen the shit that he's been going through on the season, yeah, the nigga was going through a whole bunch of stuff and he just exploded. Did he need to go that hard? Probably not. Did he need to let it get to him like that? Probably not. But he was fucking around with trying to find some fucking happiness in his job or whatever, in his home life and all that shit. And then you come through in the midst of all of that bullshit and he just blew up on your ass. And then I would have probably slapped the fuck out of Kieran. I don't know, because even then they asked him, do you understand? Do you think you should have said sorry even sooner? He said no. I just won't want to be friends with Kieran. At this point, if I was the men, they get over shit real quick or whatever. Some of them can't hold a grudge, but they can get over shit real quick. But, bitch, me and Kieran would have had to step outside. Sorry. Sorry. But maybe he gonna say psych, okay, or something like that in the final part. But that was part 3. You guys tell me how y'all feel. I know it's gonna be different opinions and all that shit. And, you're welcome to your opinions. I'm not gonna debate you. I just said what I said. And you don't need to say, girl, you didn't know. No, just put your opinion without trying to tell me what mine is when I've already told you what it is. You guys have a good night, and I'll see y'all later. I'm so tired. Peace. Happy Halloween to everybody.